the examination of the sensory system. That is our today's practical. Now, when we start the sensory system examination, first thing clear in your mind, if we talk about the sensation, then there is a spatial senses and one is a somatic sensation. One is a spatial sense, another one is a somatic sensation. So, the spatial sense, it is carried out by the cranial nerves, while the somatic sense, it is usually carried out by the spinal nerves. This is carried out by the cranial nerves in most of the cases, except here the somatic sensation, they carry out by the spinal nerves. And one more, that is the fifth, that is a trigeminal nerve. This somatic sensation of the face, it is carried out by the trigeminal nerve, while the somatic sense in the rest of the body, they are carried out by the spinal nerves. And for the spatial sense, there is a cranial nerves. For example, for the vision, there is a optic nerve. For the sense of the smell, there is a olfactory nerve. So these are the spatial senses. For today, we are going to examine the sensory system and particularly somatic sensation. And somatic sensation of our body carried out by the spinal nerves. Okay, so this was about the introduction. Good morning everyone. Today our topic is the examination of the sensory system. When we talk about the sensation, we can divide them into the two. One is the spatial sense and another one is the somatic sensation. The spatial sense usually carried out by the cranial nerves, while the somatic sensation, they are carried out the spinal nerves. And the somatic sensation of the face, it is carried out by the trigeminal nerve, while the spatial sense, all spatial senses usually carried out by the cranial nerves. In today our practical, we will assess the somatic sensation, not the spatial senses. In today our topic, when we talk about examination of the sensory system, we assess or we will examine the somatic sensation carried out by the spinal nerves. Somatic sensation of the face, it is carried out by the trigeminal nerve, and the somatic sensation of the rest of the body, it is carried out by the spinal nerves. So this was about the brief introduction that what you have to assess in today's practical. Now we start with from the first. The first, it is what is the definition of the sensation. When we usually ask someone or when we think what is sensation, we all know what is sensation. But if we want to define them, then definition of the sensation is conscious perception of sensory information. Conscious perception of sensory information. That is the sensation. That is the definition of the sensation. So the first thing, that is the sensation. There are different types of sensation like the touch, vibration sense, then pain, then temperature. These are different senses. So once the sensation is stimulated, it is sensed by which organ? That is by the receptor. So the receptor is the first prerequisite for the any sensation to be carried out to the brain. Receptor is the first prerequisite for any sensation to carry out to the brain. Now what is the function of the receptor? The function of the receptor is transduction. The function of the receptor is transduction. So what do you mean by transduction? So any type of stimuli, different type of stimuli. Other one is thermal stimuli, there is a chemical stimuli, one is mechanical stimuli. So this stimuli, it should be converted into the electrical stimuli. That is action potential of our nerves. So what the receptors do? Receptors do the transduction of one type of energy or the one type of stimuli into the electrical stimuli, or you can say the action potential into the spinal nerves. So that is the first thing, that any type of stimuli, it must be converted into the action potential in the spinal nerves. Then and then only it can carry to a CNS, or it can carry to your brain, or it can carry to your brain, and after interpretation of it, it is possible. So that is a preceptor. Receptor, for what is the function of receptor? The function of the receptor is a to transduction. So they transduce the one type of stimuli into the electrical stimuli, that is action potential, into the spinal nerves. Now there is a different types of receptor. You can classify the receptors according to their function. You can also classify the receptor according to their size. So there are different classification of the receptor. We will go through into the latter part of this practical, or you will also learn in the theory the classification of the receptor. Once the receptor completes the function of transduction, that it converts the one type of stimuli into the action potential into the spinal nerves. The spinal nerve is generated. In spinal nerve, there is a generation of the action potential. Spinal nerve, they form the sensory map, or you can say the dermatome. You can say the dermatome or the sensory map. So they have divided our body, that this part of this in this part the sensation will be carried out by this segment of the spine, this segment of spinal nerve. So spinal nerve, they form the dermatome or the sensory map. Now what is dermatome? This is a viva question. What is dermatome? So the segmental field of the skin, innervated by the each spinal nerve, that is known as a dermatome. Segmental, I am repeating, segmental field of the skin innervated by the spinal nerve, that is known as a dermatome, and they form the sensory map. So up to this, there is a different type of sensation. It be conveyed to your body by first prerequisite, that is the receptor. Receptor, they transduce the one type of energy or the one type of stimuli into the action potential or the electrical energy into the spinal nerves. So sensation will reach the spinal nerve. Spinal nerve, they form the sensory map, or you can also say the dermatome. Spinal nerve finally reach to the spinal cord. And in spinal cord, the bunches of the spinal nerve, they form the ascending tracts. Ascending tracts. There are two types of ascending tracts. One is the first one, that is the anterior-lateral. Anterior-lateral. First one, you can also classify further it, that is the anterior spinothalamic tract. Anterior spinothalamic tract, and the second one is the lateral spinothalamic tract. Okay, which one is the second tract? Second tract is the dorsal column. Dorsal column, medial lemniscal pathway, or the posterior column, medial lemniscal pathway, or you can say tract of Gall and Bardak. Tract of Gall and Bardak. So these are the tracts: anterolateral spinothalamic tract and the dorsal column, medial lemniscal pathway, or the posterior column pathway, or the tract of Gall and Bardak, or also you can say the posterior spinothalamic tract or the dorsal spinothalamic tract. This tract carry the information into the parietal lobe of your brain, and where the information get interpreted by us. So whatever you are knowing about sensation, the final interpretation is very important, and it is done in the parietal lobe. And how will it reach to the parietal lobe? It will be reached by these ascending tracts. There are two ascending tracts: anterior lateral spinothalamic tract and the posterior spinothalamic tract, or the dorsal column medial lemniscal pathway, or the posterior column pathway, or the tract of Gall and Bardak. In the today's practical, I will repeat again and again two spinothalamic tracts and the sensation carried out by them, because it is important to you for the theory question. It will also important to you for the viva question, and it will be asked in the, it will helpful to you to solve the MCQs also. So it is very important the two ascending tracts and the sensation carried out by them. Now what is the difference between these two tracts? So this anterolateral spinothalamic tract, they carry the sensation of the pain, temperature and crude touch. If you go further in detail, that crude touch, pain and the temperature, these three sensations, it is must for you to remember that these three sensations, they are carried out by the anterolateral spinothalamic tract. If you go in further that in detail, that the itching sensation and the tickling sensation, itching sensation and the tickling sensation, these two also carried out by this anterolateral spinothalamic tract. If you divide anterolateral spinothalamic in two, in anterior spinothalamic tract and retrospinothalamic tract. And then anterior spinothalamic tract, they carry the sensation crude touch, itching sensation and the tickling sensation. Crude touch, itching sensation and the tickling sensation, they carried out by this anterior spinothalamic tract. Then lateral spinothalamic tract. Lateral spinothalamic tract, they carry the sensation of pain and temperature. Lateral spinothalamic tract, they carry the sensation of pain and temperature. Now what is the specificity of this tract? This tract, they crosses the midline into the same segmental level of the spinal cord. They crosses the spinal cord or they crosses the midline into the same segment of the spinal cord. So this tract usually carry the sensation of opposite side. Suppose there is an injury to the left side of anterior lateral spinothalamic tract, the sensation will be lost on the right side. So it will be helpful to you to solve the MCQs related to the spinal cord injuries. So remember here, this anterior lateral spinothalamic tract, they decussitate or the crosses the midline into the same segment of the spinal cord. So they carry the sensation usually of opposite side of the body. Okay, this was about the anterior lateral spinothalamic tract. Now what is dorsal column medial lemniscal pathway or the posterior column pathway or the tractum Gall and Barda? So they carry the sensation. Which sensation they are carried out? They will carry the fine touch, they will carry tactile localization, tactile discrimination, the sense of vibration, sense of joint movement, sense of joint position, stereognosis. All the sensation they carried out by this pathway, that is dorsal column pathway or the posterior column pathway or the tract of Gall and Barda. So this was about the brief introduction to your sensory system. So let's start with which sensation you have to assess for somatic sensory examination. So the first sense, that is the touch sensation. First sense, that is the touch sensation. In touch sensation, there is a fine touch. Second one is the crude touch. Then tactile localization. Tactile discrimination. These four related to the touch sensation. See, touch sensation, they are carried out by the receptors, one like the Meissner's corpuscle, Mertel's disc, Krause and bulb, Pacinian corpuscle. So these are the different receptors. You will definitely learn even what is receptor, the classification of the receptor. Classification receptor also depend upon the rapidly adapting or the slowly adapting. So here basically we are with which sensation you have to assess. So the first one is the touch. In that there is a fine touch, crude touch, tactile localization and the tactile discrimination. The second one is the temperature. For the temperature, obviously two. One is the hot and the another one is the cold. Then third one is the pain sensation. So the pain sensation, that is the superficial pain and the deep pain. That is the pain sensation. The fourth one is the sense of vibration. So you can see the vibration sense, right? Then the sense of joint position and the sense of the joint movement, that is the proprioception. Sense of joint position and the sense of joint movement. That is the proprioception, and the last one, that is the stereognosis. So these are the sensations you have to assess. If we go for the brief introduction of the receptor, that the Merkel's disc, the Meissner's corpuscle, Pacinian corpuscle, then cross and bulb. So these sensation, they are carried out by these receptors. If we talk about the pain and the temperature, there are nociceptors. The specific receptor, they carry this sensation, that is the nociceptors. For the vibration, there is a Pacinian corpuscle. So like corpuscle like structure, they usually carry the vibration sense, and particularly Pacinian corpuscle. For the proprioception, the major role of which receptor, there is a Ruffini's end organ. See, for the when you learn the stretch reflex and all, that is a different thing, that is a photosynaptic reflex. This Golgi tendon organ and all that muscle spindle, they are actually operated at that subconscious level. Here we are able to sense all this sensation. So the proprioception, if we talk about the somatic sense, then proprioception, the major receptor, that is the Ruffini's end organ, right? Then the stereognosis, again all receptor that carry the touch sensation, they are responsible for the stereognosis. See, I told you that the receptors, the major role of which receptor in which sensation, they are all interrelated. Okay, so you have to assess all the sensation for today. Now what is dermatome? You have to assess this sensation into the each. Okay, so we have learned that which sensation we are going through today. That is a fine touch, root touch, tactile localization, tactile discrimination, pain, temperature, vibration sense, proprioception, and the stereognosis. Now which tract carry the which sensation, that you have to remember right now. Fine touch, it is carried out by the posterior column pathway. Root touch, that is carried out by the anterior spinothalamic tract. Tactile localization, tactile discrimination, both these carried out by the dorsal column pathway or the posterior column pathway or the tract of Gall and Barda. Pain and temperature, they are carried out by the lateral spinothalamic tract. Vibration sense, proprioception, and the stereognosis. These all three carried out by the posterior column pathway or the dorsal column pathway or the tract of Gall and Barda. Right? So, in short, this root touch, pain, and the temperature. Only these three sensations, they are carried out by the anterior lateral spinothalamic tract, and they crosses the midline into the same segment of the spinal cord. So this tract carries the sensation of the opposite side body of the body. While all other sensations, they are carried out by the dorsal column pathway or the posterior column pathway or the tract of Gall and Barda, and they carry the sensation of the same side because they crosses the midline into the medulla. In brain, both represent the opposite side of the body. But when we learn the spinal cord injuries, both tracts carry the sensation of different side. While in brain, both represent the opposite side. So that thing you have to remember. This is important for spinal cord injuries. When you have a question related to the spinal cord and injuries, then this thing will be helpful to you. Now, what is dermatome? You have to go through all. You have to check all the sensation in the all dermatomes of our body. Right? The face, the general sensation carried out by the trigeminal nerve. So when you learn the trigeminal nerve examination, you will learn all the sensation also. Today we are going to the this sensation carried out by the spinal nerves. So you have to remember the dermatomes. So in which dermatome you have to do the examination. So go through these figures. When you see the diagram of the dermatome in the Guyton or in the practical book of G.K. Pal, you will get some confused that how can we remember all this dermatome. So you have remembered in this way. I will teach you today, as well as the diagram which is given in the G.K. Pal. Diagram which is given in the G.K. Pal. It is also important. It will also helpful to you to remember this. So, what is the definition of the dermatome? The definition of the dermatome is recall yourself also. What is the definition of the dermatome? That the segmental field of the skin innervated by the each spinal nerve, that is a dermatome. Now, when we talk about our entire body, this part of the face, the sensation is carried out by the fifth nerve, trigeminal nerve. So you will learn the sensory examination of trigeminal nerve into the fifth cranial nerve. Today we are going to the dermatomes, sensation carried out by the spinal nerves, that is C2 and the C3. So when we talk about ourselves, occipital side of the skull, upper half that is carried out by C2, lower half that is carried out by C3. Then we talk about the upper limb. When we talk about the upper limb, make your upper limb like this. Arm, the lateral upper part that is carried out by the C4 dermatome, and the lateral lower part that is carried out by the C5 dermatome. So the C4, the C5. This one is C2, this one is C3, this one is C4, this one is C5. Then the lateral aspect of the forearm, including the thumb and the index finger, they carried out by the which dermatome? C6. They carried out by the C6 dermatome. C6, thumb, index finger and the medial aspect of the forearm. Then middle finger and the ring finger and this middle part of the palm and some distal implant part of the forearm, they carried out by C7 dermatome. C7 dermatome. Then this little finger and the medial aspect of the palm, that is carried out by the C8 dermatome. Then medial aspect of the forearm, that is carried out by T1. Medial aspect of the arm, that is carried out by T2. Okay. So remember the dermatome and repeat along with me that occipital side of the skull, upper part that is C2, lower part it is the C3. When we talk about the upper limb, in arm, lateral upper part that is C4, lateral lower part that is C5, then lateral part of the forearm including the thumb and the index finger, that is C6, then middle finger and the ring finger and the some mid part of the palm along with some distal part of the forearm in midline, that is carried out by the C7. Little finger and the medial aspect of the palm and some medial aspect of the forearm, that is a C8. Then medial aspect of the forearm, that is the T1. Medial aspect of the arm, that is the T2. Medial aspect of the forearm, that is T1, and the medial aspect of the arm, that is T2. So this was about the dermatome of the upper limb. Now when we talk about the dermatome of the lower limb, so divide your limb into the anterior side and the posterior side. So the anterior thigh upper part of the anterior thigh, that is carried out by L3 dermatome. Lower part of anterior thigh including the knee, that is L4. Then anterior part of your leg as well as the dorsum of the foot, they carried out by L5 dermatome. Then sole of the foot, S1 dermatome. Calf on the posterior side of the leg and the posterior part of the posterior upper thigh, posterior part of leg and the lower part of the posterior thigh, lower 1/3 part of the posterior thigh, they are carried out by S2 dermatome, and in the upper part of the posterior thigh, they are carried out by the S3 dermatome. So repeating the dermatome of the lower limb, dividing the anterior side and the posterior side. The upper in anterior side, upper part, anterior upper thigh, that is L3, anterior lower thigh, that is L4, anterior leg, that is L5, as well as the dorsum of the foot. Then sole of the foot, it is carried out by S1. Then the posterior aspect of the leg and the lower part, lower 1/3 part of the posterior thigh, that is S2, and the upper part of the posterior thigh, that is S3. So you have to do examination of all these senses in all these dermatomes. In exams, it usually, if it is a major part or the major clinical exercise, there is a question like this: examination of the sensory system. If it is a minor exercise, it is also asked like that: do the sensory system examination of the upper limb, or do the sensory system examination of lower limb. So this was about the dermatome. So remember the dermatome, remember the sensation and the tracts, which tract carry the which sensation. So this was about the sensory system examination, dermatome. So first thing, that is the receptor. In receptor, the different type of stimuli converted into action potential into the spinal nerves. From spinal nerve, sensation go into the spinal cord where they form the ascending tracts. If it is anterolateral ascending, anterolateral spinothalamic tract, it crosses the midline at the same segment of spinal cord. If it is a posterior column or the medial posterior column or the dorsal column spinothalamic tract, it crosses the midline into the medulla, and finally they relay into the parietal lobe of your brain, where the interpretation of the sensation will be taken place. So remember here, in brain, both tracts carry the sensation of opposite side. But when we talk about the spinal cord, the posterior column ascending tract, it carries the sensation of the same side, while the anterolateral spinothalamic tract, it carries the sensation of the opposite side. So remember this thing.